Ashley woman claims she would do anything to keep her son healthy, but it's come with a pretty hefty price tag after she says she had to move out of the Hayward apartments because it tested positive for mold. Anna Harris sat down with her to hear her story.
There's nothing more frustrating than knowing that there's something wrong with your kid and there's no one that'll help you.
Lauren LaMattia and her son Leo moved into the Hayward apartments in West Ashley in 2020. What began as off and on colds led to a sickness that wouldn't go away for Leo last spring. LaMattia says he had constant mucus, an oozing eye, and he even eventually stopped walking and talking. He was diagnosed with 3 different viruses and pneumonia in his right lung. A specialist recommended to get an environmental test in their apartment, which is when she hired the mold girl and GSL Engineering.
She said, based on how I feel after being here and testing, I wouldn't keep my family here for another day. So that night we packed up and we left. What we dealt with, nobody deserves. And to have no one in your corner is really hard. I'm so hoping that this brings awareness to anybody who's suffering any mild symptoms or viral symptoms that have your place tested.
She took the topical test to the Hayward management, who then hired a vendor to remediate the area and clean invasively, which she claims only exacerbated the problem.
It was worse, obviously, than what was just topical, and those spores got thrown out into the air, in through our air ducts, and contaminated all of our belongings.
When the 2 initial companies came out to test again, the results were worse than before. One air quality test says anything higher than a 5 requires an investigation. The apartment's levels, a 7.7. In a separate test, there are a variety of molds found, with some of these also showing in the 95th percentile in Leo's urine sample.
When I told the complex that, they considered this matter closed and that they had denied any allegations with my initial concern by sending a vendor out there to fix it.
The Hayward offered to terminate her lease under one condition. She had to sign a waiver of liability, a confidentiality agreement, and a non-disclosure form. When she refused, she had to pay 9 more months of rent in an apartment she couldn't live in.
Between moving, medical, rent, legal counsel, just consultations, closer, it's between $40,000 and $50,000 out of pocket.
The Hayward's attorney says they cannot comment on specific questions about any resident, but they are aware of the resident's complaint, to which they promptly investigated and responded. He says they contest the resident's portrayal of the facts and corresponding actions. LaMattia says she wants to warn other renters about the dangers mold could present.
I just hope that people get out of that place. It's just a breeding ground for mold, and they have no idea that they're going to breathe in these terrible things, and that could permanently damage them.
She recommends if anyone is feeling symptoms, no matter where they live, to get your place tested. In West Ashley, Anna Harris, Live 5 News.
The Palm Valley Animal Society discovered the shelter has black mold. Now volunteers are working overtime to find new temporary homes for all the animals inside. Our NBC 23's Tylisa Hampton is live at the shelter with the story. Tylisa.
Sydney, black mold was found at PVAS's Trenton Center here in Edinburgh, and it will be temporarily shut down for several weeks, but they are looking for homes for these new foster animals to adopt.
It broke my heart to think of all these animals here.
From dogs to cats. For safety, these 4-legged friends are going to have to find a new or temporary home away from the Palm Valley Animal Society's Trenton Center after mold was found in the facility.
So we were notified last week that we have black mold in our adoption building, which is this building. It's up in the ceiling and also on the walls. And because it's more than 25 linear feet, we had to report it to the state and do immediate remediation.
There's a barking mayhem in the air as all the animals must be moved by Tuesday. Director of Operations Faith Wright says there is a process they have to go through before they can add a new roof and move back in.
Process of getting all of the animals in this building moved out, as well as the humans, because the humans can't be here after close of business tomorrow either. And Wednesday morning, the company is coming in to go ahead and start taking down the ceiling, getting rid of the mold, doing all the remediation that needs to be done. And then we'll have an air quality test with the state of Texas that they come in, they make sure that our air quality is good.
They hope to have the mold removed and fixed in 2 weeks. In the meantime, if the animals can't find a new adoption home, the shelter has a backup plan.
We would move them to our other facility off of the highway. We have the Lori P. Andrews facility off of US 281. We have kennels there that are double-sided and have a guillotine in the middle. So we will drop the guillotine on those animals and have 2 on one side and 2 on the other. So it'll be more overcrowded.
In a perfect world, Wright would love for members of the community to adopt and foster the animals.
I have my place, plus I have a place across the street. Kitty cats I'll be over there with them back and forth.
Well, we are big animal lovers, and we know it's really important to get the animals out of the shelter environment for socialization and so that they don't get sick. And we feel like we're able to help a lot more animals this way with fostering because we keep them anywhere from as short as 2 weeks.
Sydney, Jeremiah, I know you are both animal lovers, and we've seen a lot of people come in and out of that door looking to adopt and foster these animals here. Now, the hope that they can reopen this facility in the next 2 weeks, but Wright says they don't know when the state will do their test for air quality. Putting local first in Edinburgh, I'm Teresa Hampton.
It's a $40 billion business. A square box, a metal door, and a lock you provide.
We could have got a cheaper place or whatever, but we felt like that one was going to be more secure and safer area for us, so we put our stuff in there.
Early last year, Carl Woods put almost everything he owned in a storage unit.
It was 3 bedroom suites, a couch with a lounger on it, a dining room suite, breakfast nook suite. It was everything.
7 months later, when it was time to clear out, he pulls up the door.
It was the mildewy mold smell. It was a stench that hit you in the face. You couldn't stand to be in there.
Everything in the unit has mold on it or smells disgusting.
My wife was there. I mean, she immediately started breaking down crying because it was that bad.
Furniture and clothes are saturated with spores. Shoes are covered with mold. This suitcase looks like it's been invaded by an amoeba.
It attacked everything.
Woods immediately contacted management.
It turns out, the contract that we had signed was as is.
Which means whatever happens, happens. And in this case, it was a mold infestation.
And I'll be quite honest with you, I didn't read the contract. We had to move out in a hurry.
The lesson learned and now shared. Before signing a contract, asked what is and isn't protected. Woods finding out the hard way.
They wash their hands of any liability whatsoever.
Some storage facilities offer insurance but know exactly what you're buying. Another reminder, check your homeowner's insurance policy. Woods wishes he did.
It's lack of my awareness that if I would have been more vigilant, I guess, in what I was doing, or if I'd have thought about it, if it even crossed my mind, I would have took out another policy.
After we reached out, the company did agree to reduce the cost of the unit, but it didn't come close to covering the cost of everything lost. Kevin Kennedy, 2 Wants to Know.
The Chattanooga family is dealing with black mold and parts of their ceiling falling in their apartment, and they say management is doing nothing to help.
Our Claudia Coco spoke with them today about the issues and what they're hoping will happen. Claudia.
Cindy, David, these apartment owners are saying the first step to fixing their apartment is getting the roof fixed, but they say they're having a hard time getting management to take responsibility.
Pots and pans and towels litter the floor of Vicki Holloway's apartment. Discoloration is visible on the walls and ceiling from water damage. Holloway tells Channel 3 the problem started 2 months ago.
Ours started after a large rain. I believe it was about December 9th. That's when all the water started kind of showing up.
Half a wall was missing after black mold was found. The Affinity Group sent the Holloways a letter with what needs to be done.
After it being disclosed where they cut away from the sheetrock, and also found in the AC return that we should be immediately removed from the property. All the ceilings and drywall needs to be took down to the stud.
But 2 months later, they're still living there. The roof hasn't been repaired.
They're just doing nothing about it, and we would like to be able to just up and get out, but it's kind of hard We have 2 animals, and it's me and my husband.
She says maintenance hasn't been doing much.
All they do is sometimes they will come out, and literally they're never in the apartment more than 5 minutes.
Holloway's insurance company won't cover the damage because they say it's a homeowners association problem due to the roof leaking. She says that management at Signal View Condos claims it's not a roof problem. But in her parents' condo across the hall, they're also missing a huge piece of their ceiling due to water damage. Holloway says even if they made the necessary repairs to their apartment, which are estimated at about $15,000, it would all be ruined by water damage unless the roof is repaired.
Now, we did receive this statement from Signal View Condos attorney Bill Pemberton. He says Signal View Condominiums is an HOA community and each condominium home is individually owned. The association is currently investigating the cause, scope, and severity of the alleged damages. And that's all I have for now. Live in Chattanooga, Claudia Coco, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.